Good morning, guys. I don't know if you can hear the birds, but like they're so beautiful. So I'm sitting outside with the coffee, and yeah, we're just gonna have some auditory enjoyment. All right, let me get a pull up for y'all. Good. My tummy hurts. Good morning. How are you doing today? Start Q&A. Amazing. Guys, I was just reading scripture and something in my heart was like I know people are like, you shouldn't do this, but like I do the whole, I'm gonna flip to the page that I feel like the Lord is leading me by, because I'm open in reading what he has to say to me today. You know, it's not like I'm flipping open to a page and I'm like, that's like, I heard an example of someone saying, they were like, I'm gonna flip to a page and whatever that page tells me, that's the reaction I'm gonna give to my pastor about yada yada yada. Obviously, that is not the right way to go about it, because you are making your decisions based on a false teaching. And that's not what I'm doing here. What I'm doing here is simply just trying to listen to my intuition a little bit. And when God says this page, I read it, whether or not I want to. And every time, so I remember, it actually jumps off the page and yells at me. So anyway, I'm sitting here and I'm reading, and I'm like, I'm doing some reading, and it goes to Job, and it's for some reason I've just been brought back to Job a lot this past year. If you see my bald head, you understand why. Make sure my mic's actually on here. And I then was like, oh, I feel like reading some Proverbs, and I actually flipped open to Proverbs 10. Proverbs of Solomon. I do love this one, but I actually noticed that, and this is the reason why I also went live, is just because I just want to share this little thing that I read. So I'm reading from the New International Version, Proverbs of Solomon, Proverbs 10:1. A wise son brings joy to his father, but a foolish son brings grief to his mother. And it has some really like laid out values, like important values. Hold on, let me go down to Proverbs 10 verse 6 says, blessings crown the head of the righteous, but violence overwhelms the mouth of the wicked. Keep that in mind. Violence overwhelms the mouth of the wicked. That's verse 6. Now we go back down to verse 11. It says, the mouth of the righteous is a fountain of life, but the mouth of a wicked conceals violence. And I just thought it was interesting that twice in a short period of time, it was basically verbatim the same message, that what comes out of the mouth is, you know, of the wicked is wicked, you know, like, or sorry, what comes out of the mouth of the wicked is violence. And I thought that was interesting, because it's mentioned twice in two different ways after the same message, that like the mouth of the righteous is a fountain of life. And that, where's the other one? Blessings crown the head of the righteous. But then the line immediately after says, but violence overwhelms the mouth of the wicked. I just thought it was interesting, because think about this day and age with Gen Alpha and all, and we're saying they're unable to control their emotions, they're unable to regulate their emotions, they're unable to interpret their emotions, and that they're reacting quickly, they're reacting emotionally, they're reacting with these strong, passionate feelings that they don't know how to handle it. Have we ever thought that maybe it's because of the violence they've been exposed to? Is it not all here in scripture? Is it not straight here in scripture? And so we sit back and we're like, oh, well, the children are just hitting each other and are just more aggravated than previous years because they're children. No, children were not like this many years ago. And as a teacher, children were not like this even 5 years ago. Like, my last year in the classroom opened my eyes to the direction that things are heading for the children. And I will say, never send your child to an early education center. Never send your child to any of these private things. I think it's ridiculous, because they are being put in a cesspool of violence. They're being put in a cesspool of wickedness and evilness. And I just want to really emphasize this point here of Proverbs Solomon 10 verses 6 and verses 11. 6 says, blessings crown the head of the righteous, but violence overwhelms the mouth of the wicked. And 11, we go into, the mouth of the righteous is a fountain of life, but the mouth of the wicked conceals violence. And those two lines are so like verbatim one another and so close together. I think we just really need to reemphasize that, especially on our developing youth, that love is the most important thing. It doesn't matter, you know, what pants you're wearing, if you're wearing a certain brand, like if you have your hair cut a certain way, like that does not matter. At the end of the day, what does matter is the love that you have in your heart. And that's the message that I want to share to you guys. That's the message that I'm hoping, you know, comes through and gets passed on. But yeah, early morning thoughts, and love you guys a lot, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you, Lorenzo, for joining us this morning. That's all. God bless you guys. And again, Proverbs verse 10. Bye. Hi.